Hey, it's IdkWhatsRc and this is the third episode of my new series called One Take. So as you can see right now on RuneScape, I'm currently killing Shumpy birds. So I need to kill 4,000 of them for my trim completionist cape requirement, and it's taking quite a long time. Obviously it's not as bad as the Castle Wars requirement, but this is far more click intensive than I thought. Like, I thought that you could simply put your toad and then you wait, but actually the efficient way to do it is to catch like non-stop toads and you don't really wait, which is better because it's far more birds per hour than what I expected, but it's far more click intensive at the same time. So I don't really expect to be super efficient while doing this commentary. It's not really my point, but anyway, it's a pretty straightforward mini game. I wouldn't really consider it a mini game. It's more like a grind than anything else. But anyway, so in this video what I want to talk about is RuneScape becoming or not like other MMOs. So obviously with the release of RuneScape 3, many things have changed with RuneScape and over the years too, and I heard that many people were complaining about RuneScape becoming like other MMOs and blah blah blah, and I just want to give you guys my thoughts about this subject. So obviously things have changed with RuneScape. RuneScape is not the same game than before. It has evolved. It's normal, but yeah, in a way it's becoming more like other MMOs. I'm not really talking about the graphics. Like, obviously a game needs to improve its graphic, but yeah, over the years the graphic part of RuneScape has been a far more higher priority than what it was before, like in 07 and things like that. Or trying to scale up to other MMOs, and it's normal. It doesn't really breaks the spirit of the game. However, there are two other things that I think have also changed about RuneScape. I'm not saying that it's bad. Other MMOs are successful too. But anyway, there are two other things that I think have changed with RuneScape, and they are it's becoming kind of more like other MMOs. The first one is the multiplayer aspect of the game. So in other MMOs, multiplayer is a really big part of the game, and not only like for trades and chat and things like that, which is what RuneScape is, well, in 07 at least. Like for me in 07, the only thing I've made with other people, except like the rune crafting part, this was kind of fun, but except that, the only thing I do with other players is chat and trade. Obviously if you want to do boss hunting, then you can do a little bit more, but as a whole it's kind of more like a solo game. Far more solo game than other MMOs like WoW, and which has raids and things like that, and Guild Wars, for example, where you need to do dungeon, and Diablo 2, where I was doing like what's called ball runs and tons of fun stuff, the Uber runs. But anyway, so there are many things that are updated in RuneScape, and the updates try to make people play more together. And the easiest example is currently the Big Wall event. It's the first time that Jagex is doing something like this. So a big event that everybody needs to work together to accomplish something, which isn't really which haven't been done in the past. They were like the bonus XP weekend, but once again it's more like a solo stuff than community stuff. There's also the seasonal events that are pretty much made to make people together, a little competition. There's the Clan Citadel, which obviously put people together once again. We try to make people skill together instead of skilling in separate world and things like that. So that's one thing. There's also the join trail option. Well, it's useful for training too because you can up well fast, but the main goal of this was for people to train together, the Slayer co-op, and the warbands, and tons of things. They're trying to make people play together. And another great example is the fire making with bonfire. So before, if you wanted to train fire making, you needed to be like alone, because otherwise your fire will be over the other fire and it won't light. And you couldn't type while doing that, but now with the bonfire you can type. It's away from keyboard, you can type, you can talk with other people, and it's so obvious that they're really trying to make it multiplayer, because you even get a bonus if you're training with other people. I mean, it's so obvious they are doing it for that. And the last skill that Jagex released was Dungeoneering, which was the very first real multiplayer skill. So just think about it. All the other skills are like solo skills. You train it by yourself and that's it. Well, Dungeoneering is a totally new type. You need to be with other people. Obviously it's I mean, not everybody wants to play with other people. There was like a big would say gap, or like I mean, people who used to play RuneScape, they play it because it's a solo game in a way, and with Dungeoneering they were kind of forced to play with others. Kind of annoying, but yeah. I mean, there's only one skill so far with that, but to be honest, I'm really sure, well, not totally sure, I'm not working for Jagex, but I'm kind of pretty sure that Divination, the new skill, will have a multiplayer aspect to it. It's like, if I had to bet, I would bet on that full time, because that's what they are trying to do with the game. Make it more multiplayer and not like 07 where you trade, you talk, and that's it. And you kill boss, but that's not really for skillers like me. The second part that I've really changed with RuneScape, and kind of more towards other MMOs, is the combat. I'm not really talking about how combat is played, but more about the importance of combat. So before, RuneScape was more about skills. Like the best way to make money was skills. All your money was spent on skills, and like the top players were, well, it's still the case, but I mean, skills were the top priority. But now, with like the EOC and all the new updates, combat has become far more important than old combat, and nearly as important as skills, maybe even more now. So before, getting the best gear possible was quite easy, couple days or so and you get the best gear. You have the money to buy the best gear. But now it's really expensive, and if you want to make money, you make it with kills and things like that. So obviously the way combat is played is also more like other MMOs, but I wouldn't really consider it copying other MMOs, not really for that. But for sure it's becoming far more like a combat game with skill as another priority, but yeah. So I guess that's pretty much it for this video. I hope you liked it, and see ya!